Welcome back to CoachRobb.com. In this video I want to explain some running specific exercises for your optimum range of motion. In this first exercise, what I want you to do is I want you to do what we call air squats. You'll notice that she has her hands on the back of her head, and the reason for this is to keep her spine directly over her hips. Now as you go down into a squatted position, notice how she's keeping her feet flat on the ground. It's super important that you don't raise your ankles and heels off the ground. Go as deep as you can, keeping your feet flat. This is going to engage your butt muscles and engage the top of your quads, the front of your thighs. This next exercise is what we call a sit and hold. And you notice that she's holding on to the treadmill. In this case, you could be doing a pole or a mailbox or a sign on the open road. And notice that she just squats down and hangs out a little bit. What I want you to pay attention to is at a neuromuscular level, you're turning on a lot of muscles. And what you're trying to do is activate them. Notice how she released one hand and leans back slightly. That gets a little bit of a stretch in her right arm as she creates traction against her hand holding it against the treadmill. This will help with your range of motion in your shoulders as well as engage your glutes and your quads. Here she's going to let go of holding the treadmill, and this is going to engage her quads, her glutes, the front of her shins, her calves, as well as her core muscles. This is a good balance drill, just sitting and squatting like that. She makes it look a lot easier than it really is. This next exercise is to get the lower back and the glutes to engage and fire simultaneously. It's also going to engage the hamstrings, the back of your legs. Notice how she keeps her feet flat on the ground for the first 5 exercises, and then she raises one leg up in the air. The reason for doing this is by raising one leg, it puts more load on the foot that's pushing on the ground and to that back of that leg, which is the hamstring. In this case, she'd be engaging her left hamstring and her glutes. This next exercise is to get the hamstrings engaged while standing, okay? Notice that she slightly bends the knee as she squats down, or rather leans forward. You have to understand that this is not about how many repetitions you can do. This is about turning on, it's what we call activating the running specific muscles. When she stands on her left leg like that, she engages her glutes, her quads, her hamstrings, the calves, as you can see there as she flexes. She's not flexing for the camera. What she's doing is she's trying not to lose her balance, and that's going to engage your contact with your foot on the ground. Again, these are all muscles that you're going to be using when you're out running. Notice, if you will, from the side, that that's the position associated with running. Now, here we're going to move into the shoulder blades, and you'll notice that she's got her hands integrated together, and she simply is just reaching for the sky. Now, not many people have this kind of range of motion. As you raise your hands towards the sky like that, you may find that you're not able to straighten your arms, and that's okay. Don't push through that. What I want you to understand is we're trying to get the shoulder blades to start moving. You just saw in the previous exercise as you reach towards the sky. Now we're going to start rotating forward. Notice that she has her thumbs and her hands against her head, and the reference point is to try to bring the elbows together. Now what you're going to notice here is that her shoulder blades literally rotate forward as she brings her elbows together, as you can see here in the reflection in the mirror. See how the scapulas, the shoulder blades, move forward and then they retract backwards. These need to be turned on before you start running because your arms engage your legs. In this exercise, she's pointing her thumbs forward and doing the biggest circles she can with her arms. The thing I want you to note is that she's not trying to do it as fast as she can because you're trying to turn on the shoulder blades. Now she just turned her thumbs backwards, and this is going to engage the shoulders and start to stretch out the chest. I want you to pay close attention when you're doing these 2 exercises as to where do you feel the tension. When you're rotating your arms forward, it's going to engage the back of your shoulders. When you tilt your thumbs backwards, you're going to feel the stretch in your chest. Which one's tighter? Because that's where you need to pay attention when you're isolating and stretching single muscles. If you have any questions about this video or any of our videos, please visit us at CoachRobb.com.